What's up, guys? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, I want to show you something. This is a linear compensator on my 223 AR pistol. I really love this pistol, man. It's been safety checked, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it. 7.5-inch barrel, stainless steel, Law Tactical folding Gen 3 stock, CAC, stabilizer, hollow sun on the top there, which I'm gonna do a review on because I've been so impressed with this bad boy. Took a little while to get it dialed in, but one of the things that I've been and the Enforce Tactical Light that I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do here is what kind of flash can I was going to put on the end. And I've tried the standard flash can, the big ones that you're familiar with that you see on a lot of AR pistols. I tried the mini shorty flash can, which is about this size, but this one's from S&J Hardware, and it's a linear comp. And I'll kind of show it to you. I want to show it, take it off. I actually just got back from the range, just cleaned this pistol, so my hands are dirty, and I have loosened this sucker up to remove it to show it to you. I want to quick kind of show you what it looks like. You can see I have an 8-inch handguard here, and so the threading is just below the edge of the handguard. And what that's done for me, instead of using like a 9-inch handguard that, the flash can kind of inset and look more fuller, mine ends up, because of the shoulder, mine ends up looking like the flash can is kind of detached and floating in front of the handguard. I don't really like that. And secondly, I also have a problem with kind of big flash cans. I mean, you can just put on a longer barrel and then use a standard muzzle brake. But here's how it comes. Here's how this bad boy comes. I'm going to set up here. And you can see here the end of the barrel, just standard 1/2 by 28 threading. And this is the comp, and I've got grime under my fingernails. It comes with this comp and a crush washer. This is for 5.56 and it says S&J on there. And what makes it cool is that as opposed to just a flash can, it's kind of tubular. Aside from these cutouts here, so that you can get a wrench on it and torque it down. You can see the threading is right there. You can torque it down, but it'll kind of keep a nice, clean, flat, full look on the end of your either SBR or pistol or rifle, presumably, if you want it. But what makes it interesting is, opposed to the cans just being normally hollowed out like a can, this one has some, like mild baffling in it. What there is there's the full hole here to kind of encompass the barrel, and then you have a 22 caliber hole in the middle. So the baffles kind of float. They're slightly recessed, kind of concave here, but they are pretty much all here on the long end. Now, what it's going to be kind of hard to see. I'll try to do my best with the lights here, but you can see that those holes on the side are drilled down about 1/3 of the way down the linear comp, and they are just slightly angled outwards. So my assumption is, when I went to the range, that I was kind of going to get this like spray pattern, and maybe the fireball coming out of the end, which is typical on really short-barreled rifles, was going to maybe even be a little bigger. But what I did like is that it's linear, and there were no ported holes on the side, so you weren't going to get it spraying out, but hopefully maybe, diminishing or lessening that fireball a little bit. Now, what I can say is I did take some video of my other flash cans, and I haven't posted those yet, but this right now is my favorite. So I'm going to roll in some video of me at the range with it, and I'm going to give you some stats on this flash can here, in case you're thinking of using it. First of all, it's only about $50 or so. It actually, maybe it came from Canada, but this isn't very big. As you can see, here's my Enforce weapons light. It's about the same size as that. And one of the things that I did like is that it's pretty short. So let's go ahead and turn on the calipers. And I'm in millimeters. So let's just go ahead and look at the overall length of the linear comp, 38.25 millimeters, and if we switch to inches here, 1.5 inches. So what I love about it is that from the base of your threading, you're only adding 1.5 inches to your overall barrel length. Like I said, I kind of have this fundamental problem of putting on really short barrels, but then putting on really long flash cans or comp or muzzle brakes, you know, because they aren't really helping with the ballistics. You might as well put on a slightly longer barrel and a slightly smaller comp. So if I squeeze it down here, the diameter of this comp is basically 1 inch. It says 0.97, but I kind of feel it's 1 inch, or 24.8 millimeters. So it's small. Like I said, it's only 1 inch, and as you can see, I have a slim handguard here. So it really hugs the gas tube on the top. I don't have the crush washer on here, but as you can see, let me see if I can get the camera down here. You know, plenty of room. It's the angle, the parallax is kind of screwing it up, but I can see plenty of daylight, or you should be able to on the camera. I can see it on the screen, around the outside of the comp there. Now, what I do want to show you here too is the inside diameter of my handguard, because this is a pretty standard slim handguard, I think. Let's get it in there. And what I have is 1.38, 1.9, 1.39, 1.4 inches inner diameter, 35.25 millimeters essentially. So if you have a slim handguard like that, you know, anything over 1 inch, this could nestle inside of it. If you're putting it on just the end of a normal barrel that extends past the handguard, then obviously it's not going to be a problem. I also want to show you here what kind of wrench you would need by looking at the distance on the notches on the base of it. 19 millimeters or 0.75 inches. So you'll probably likely have a tool. There's no timing on this, so you can use kind of anything that you have, you know, expandable wrench or something. But it's pretty cool. Now, like I said, I took it to the range. And one of the things that I noticed is that it worked really well, and it didn't add a lot of mass to the end of the gun. And what's really tough is that I pretty much only go to these indoor ranges that are relatively well lit, and it's hard, honestly, to see the fireball. You can usually see fireballs on short barrel rifles, but you know, because it's so well lit, it's not really distracting. It's not until low light or darkness that you're going to really kind of see the fireball, or it's going to blind you. But looking at the video afterwards, I really did notice that right at the end of the comp here, you got a little bit of like a candlelight torch flame, maybe extending out 1 inch or 2 from the comp, and so you have a little bit of like this torch effect right at the end. And then a few inches beyond that is where you kind of get the fireball, where the flames kind of all, you know, explode in front of the gun. It's not really noticeable. It wasn't really noticeable to me. It didn't throw off my shooting. I was able to get back on target very quickly, and I didn't even really notice it. I thought the comp was doing its job here. Now, the reason I like these comps is because I'm always at a range, and it's really annoying to people next to you when they're just getting thumped by big muzzle brakes or something. So I'm trying to find something that reduces the flash for my benefit, and that's why I really liked the idea of these kind of the baffle on the end, or this grill on the end. But I also like the fact that it's truly a sleeve, nothing on the side, and so it's not really directing anything overtly to neighbors in other lanes. And in fact, the range was packed, so it's pretty interesting to see people out at the range these days. So I really like it. As opposed to the other 2 flash cans that I have, so far this is my favorite. One, because it's so small and compact. It also, you know, is 1.25 inch, or 1 inch all the way around from the tip to the base. And so if you don't have a lot of gap between your threading and the edge of your handguard, you know, it can kind of nestle in there and make your rifle or your SBR or whatever, or your pistol, look like it's nice and finished and solid. And again, fundamentally, the thing I like the most is that it just doesn't add a lot of overall length to my pistol when I'm intentionally trying to keep it as short as possible. I actually think this is probably about as short as you can have it and still have some effect on the flame and the ball of flame as it comes out. I don't know that if you went any shorter that you're only really getting in maybe an inch of comp beyond the threading. I don't know that anything shorter would be effective at all. But this seemed to be pretty nice. It seemed to work pretty well. It did not seem to be any brighter than any of the other flash cans I've used. At 50 or 60 bucks, I think it's a really good deal. They do have them, or at least I thought S&J had them in 308 and 556, and they also have them with some lines, some cuts in it, a little bit of design if that's fits your motif. But overall, I really like it. I think it worked out well. This is the one that's going to be on there after I get my tool out and torque this back down. But like I said, I will do more in depth on the whole pistol, which has absolutely been a champ, and that Hollow Sun Red Dot, which is absolutely amazing. So really like this S&J. I bought this one, had to search the web a lot trying to find a linear comp or a flash can that met my needs, and I've gone through a bunch of them so far. But like I said, this one is my favorite. Peter Von Panda with my S&J Linear Comp. Out!